It always happens. I can compile my list all year long and be completely prepared for the best of list, and almost like clockwork, late in the game, some film comes along and blows me away, and I have to find some way to fit it into the list at the very last minute. This time, creeping in just before the deadline by a day is the brand spanking new Netflix film, No One Gets Out Alive. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for notifications. No One Gets Out Alive is new streaming on Netflix. It's directed by Santiago Menghini and written by John Croker, Fernanda Coppel, from a novel by Adam Nevill. Christina Rodlo plays Ambar, an illegal immigrant who finds herself in Cleveland, Ohio after being dropped off by a coyote. She's barely making ends meet with her job in a sweatshop and is holding away enough money to get a fake ID so that she can get a better job. When things begin to get desperate and she can no longer stay at the hotel she's been living in, Ambar finds a halfway house of sorts owned by Red, played by the outsider in Ozark's Mark Menchaca. With his strange brother Becker, played by David Figlioli, Red invites illegal immigrants in, promising cheap rent, but fails to mention the stone box that resides in the basement. In this stone box is a nightmare procured from an ancient civilization, hungry for bodies and souls. No One Gets Out Alive is a hodgepodge style of film that incorporates the grindhousey elements of A Dangerous Family with topical issues such as immigration and even Lovecraftian monstrosities. But don't worry, it's not a preachy story about the virtues of those who come into this country illegally, nor is it some highfalutin tale of American pride. Ambar makes huge mistakes. She's a flawed character who has held back from succeeding due to her dedication to her family. But she's naive and overly willing to trust a world that is working against her. She can't seem to catch a break. But instead of heaping on the troubles like you're going down a list of headline topics, this spiral Ambar is swirling down progresses logically, cruelly, but meticulously, and most importantly, in a way that presses the story forward. Every hurdle Ambar faces is a product of her own design, and thankfully, the film doesn't really take a stance for or against the immigration issue. Instead, it just shows the horror Ambar encounters, and she encounters horrors aplenty. What I love about No One Gets Out Alive is that it is an unexpectedly layered film. There are all kinds of monsters, human and supernatural, that Ambar encounters. Mark Menchaca truly is an awesome actor and does a fantastic job of making Red a complex character, conflicted with the horrors he houses, but dedicated to it through familial bonds. David Figlioli is equally menacing as Becker, a terrifying man-mountain that cannot be stopped. Then there are the ghosts that haunt the halls of the house. There's a scene where Ambar encounters a ghost that involves a disembodied voice, some footsteps, and some well-placed shadows that is scarier than any Blumhouse jump scare stinker you're bound to see in this and any year. Finally, there's the indescribable monster in the box. I won't post a pic here, but this thing is the stuff of the most pants-shitting nightmares, with arms and legs where they shouldn't be, along with a mouth and faces all mixed up and crazy. It's part bug, part beast from last year's creature feature, The Ritual, but still all original. The climax where we finally see the monster doesn't disappoint. No One Gets Out Alive is a thematic relative of Greg Oliver's 2012 film Devoured, another story about an immigrant being swallowed alive by human and otherworldly horrors. Both films paint the picture of the difficulties immigrants face coming to America and represents those horrors in the most terrifying of ways. No One Gets Out Alive is a heinous thrill ride where every plot twist leads to more danger, culminating in a climax that is absolutely breathtaking. This one is fresh off the truck and knocked my socks off, so expect to see it again soon show up in the best of list. This one was a squeaker in at the last minute, and it turned out to be surprisingly good. Don't miss it. That'll be it for today. Please chime in down below in the comments and let me know how on the nose or mind-numbingly wrong I am, or you can counter with your own review. So guys, you know how YouTube works. I'd love to be able to dedicate more time to this channel. I'm not monetized yet, so if you want to help me out, remember to hit all the pertinent bells and whistles down below. Want some spooky comics to read? I have 2 new horror comic book trade paperbacks you should look out for. Both Gravetrancers and Pirouette, collecting never-before-published issues, can be found in only the finest of comic book shops. If you're looking for written reviews, you can find them on my website, mlmillerwrites.com. If you really want to show your support, I also have a Patreon page at mlmiller. Look for the link to my Patreon page down below. Thank you so much for your time, and take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed. You're doomed. Live the life that you are meant to be. Live inside that